brilliantly read by Rodney Harrington there. We'll watch it again. Just got to hit the dart or the flight, and you can see it took a deflection. And it's Smith that's really hit the ground running here. 3 up and with the darts. And as you were saying, Rod, it doesn't pay to get too far behind in these early stages. You've got to hang on in there, and Bates will need really to be looking to win these next 2 legs to feel any comfort at all at the break.
Yeah, he certainly has got to, Dave.
58.
If he loses another leg, all of a sudden he's looking at 5-0 in the break, and he's letting Smith halfway to home. And Smith, you know, he's not missing a lot really, and he's certainly clocking out good.
121.
He's a dour character. He doesn't show a great deal of emotion in his play, and off stage he's a very amicable, easygoing character.
44.
I always think Barrie Bates is another lovable character. He always reminds me of one of those lovable characters from the Chronicles of Narnia. Be a fairy story if he could win here, but
42.
He might go out on the first chapter if he doesn't up his act.
Yeah, he certainly turned pro not long ago.
100.
Thought I'm going to have a go at this. The money there's a stake at the PDC in Sky now. He's enough to earn a nice wage. And certainly we have now got a lot of quality and depth of a dart player. As we said earlier on, first rounds now are as good as they get.
60.
Well, the first rounds now, the quality is of certainly the quarterfinals some years back. Well, and they're getting stronger. Players are coming
59.
through, younger players, exciting players, characters with colour and panache. These are really exciting times for big-time darts. We're growing, and indeed, little short of booming.
82.
At a time when so many other sports are really feeling a pinch a little, darts just simply strides from strength to strength.
Yep.
42.
There's a good future, at least for the next 10 years, I would say. And what's happening also, as we said about the players coming through, they're starting to get used to play to the big stage. You know, the Colin Osbornes, the Terry Jenkins, Andy Hamiltons,
56.
and these 2 guys, they're used to this big stage now, so they can perform.
Yep. And of course we have the Dutch invasion too coming through in force. Exciting prospect.
98.
But now Andy Smith, who's doubling, has been very steady. 38%, 3 out of 8, needs double top here.
Well, again, a perfect guide. He's just got to hit the flight or the stem. Oh, he won't be happy with that. Double 10.
30.
Now this is where Bates has got to take this out. If he wants to get back in this game, he's got to take this out.
He's got to kill, got to be ruthless here. Barrie Bates, real chance, a very real chance now. 2 darts at double top, only needs 1. He's back in business.
Barrie Bates.
Yeah, little things change games, and that 96 was a miss early at the leg before, but that 100 he took. You know, he's probably thinking, Dave, if I'd have taken out the 96 the leg before, all of a sudden, you know, I'm back in the game big time. And
with the throw here, we were mentioning that
97.
he could only be happy with a 3-2 deficit at the break. And now Smith, who had 3 clean darts at a finish in that last leg, and that has
60.
pulled him up short.
Well, that's a great first dart from Barrie Bates. He'll certainly be looking to fill this up. Plenty of room.
140.
He won't be too worried about not hitting the 180 because the 140 has really put him in command.
Now, Smith hanging on to his shirt tails.
100.
Bates has a wonderful philosophy in this game. I remember him at Bolton when asked what his secret was. He said, we just sort of throw them and they just sort of go in.
60. Barrie, you require 164.
Yeah, he has got a wonderful outlook on the game, and normally you don't see him without a smile on his face. But, total concentration on there now.
60.
He knows he's got a game in his hand, and this is such an important leg, Dave. You know, if he wins this, it's only 3-2. If he loses it, 4-1, which is a huge deficit.
140 would be especially welcome.
140.
Settle for a ton, but Bates really shouldn't lose it from here. 104 the shot. Treble 20 would leave double 12. You know what he wants now.
80.
No, that was unlucky, but Smith coming to the board with 101. And what a big finish this would be. We see Mardle take out 5-ton pluses last night. He ain't going to do it now, so Bates will come back.
45.
So the Welshman, Barrie Bates, wants double 12 and hits it cleanly and precisely. And he needed those two legs, and he will go into the break with just one leg behind, and that's a good bit more healthy than he looked as he hobbles off stage. He'll have time to recover, so will we after this break. Top of the sixth leg here, the last first round match of the afternoon session, with an absolutely golden evening of top quality arrow play to come. And Smith
41.
looking for qualification and guarantee of at least £5,000 in this £200,000 prize fund
55.
Stan James World Match Play.
Yep, there's serious money in the game now, Dave. You know, this one match is worth £2,500. It's quite a bit to help sponsor these boys to go all over the world now, which is what they do. But the Pie Man is one break up, so Barrie Bates has got to get this break back as soon as he can.
Smith, 20-gram tungstens. Quarter-finalist in the Grand Prix. It's about his best result in the PDC Classics so far.
42.
Barrie Bates really had a purple patch last year, getting to the final of the UK Open, which was beyond all our expectations.
140.
Hasn't quite lived up to that subsequently, but he's still a dangerous opponent. He's not walking with any kind of comfort at all, Rod, is he?
No, and as the game goes on, that can only get worse, that's for sure. And
100.
you know, it doesn't matter how much the old adrenaline is pumping and how much your concentration is. If it really gets to a certain amount of pain, you know, you can't close it off, Dave.
99.
No, I suppose not. There's all this talk about footballers being able to run off an injury, but if you've got that kind of a problem, as you say, it can only get worse as the match unfolds. Looks like his metatarsals have exploded.
84.
Oh, that was a bad dart from Smith. Another treble 20 would have been ideal. He's given Baz a good chance now. Double 18, and what a great shot this would be. Oh, what a superb shot for 3-all. And Barrie Bates has won the last three legs to get him right back in this game.
7th leg, Barrie to throw first.
Yes, and that was against the throw. And little fella from Mid Glamorgan has
59.
got the booster button going, and Smith, who seemed to be comfortable. That's 3 up, remember. It looked like he was just going to counter away with it.
78.
But it's a different story now.
It just shows you, Dave, how a match can turn. You know, Smith was 3-0 up, looking very
45.
comfortable. All of a sudden, Bates comes in, takes that 100 out, and he's right back in the game.
Yes, and Smith had 3 darts at a double to go 4 up as well. So he will
60.
not be on good terms with himself at this point of the match. Barrie Bates, 37, 80 to 1 with the bookmakers. Could be a match from here.
140.
Referee George Noble calls the shots. The crowd here enjoying all the festival fun of big-time darts at its very best.
83.
Yeah, they certainly do, Dave. On Saturday, we were quite amazed how many people turned up to see the boys just in a normal tour event.
140.
As Bates slings in another 140. And this makes him 6 140s, and that's the mainstay of any leg. Plenty of 140s.
Bates stand at 117 to take the lead for the first time in the match.
60. Barrie, you require 117.
To move into fresh air for the first time. Chances, big chances. Double top, grinning at him.
Game shot in the 7th
And as clean as a whistle, Dave.
Barrie Bates.